Hello and welcome to Stark or Stank. My name is Aaron and I am here with Josh.
Hello, it's me. I'm Josh. I have a face for people who are watching this.
That's crazy. We're
Fucking
in
wild.
video form, here live on the internet, ready to rank.
First we were disembodied voices, now we have faces. One day we'll be real boys. Like Ultron. No strings.
Yeah. I'm sick of all these strings.
Same, I keep getting fucking tangled up in them.
The worst. This week, we are ranking and talking about WandaVision.
Wild.
I had a soft drink and a bowl burpee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is the podcast I remember.
This is the podcast. This is gonna be a great show. Let's. We got. I'm looking at the chat.
The chat where?
Yeah, apparently you are a moderator. That's right.
Yep. I can't chat in this chat. I have to chat with the plebs.
You can't chat in the chat on the thing?
No, it's like it's only supported for hosts. Fuck you. I'm like, yeah, fair enough.
Oh, that's pretty shit.
Yeah, no, I got my workarounds. It's fine.
Fair enough. All right. Let us talk about WandaVision. It's a TV series. Very different from the last things that we have ranked.
Yeah, quite a departure. Is it technically a TV series? Is a streaming series a TV series?
You watch it. I guess people could watch it everywhere. I'm sick of these kids. Sick of these kids these days watching shit on their phones in bed.
I specifically did not watch it on a TV. I watched it on an iPad as I played Zelda and took notes.
It's an iPad Pro, right?
Yes.
The 12.9 inch one.
I don't know what an inch is, but yeah, let's go with that.
Okay, well that's okay as long as it's not a phone. That's like the worst one to me.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch it on this.
Ooh, yeah, no, I think like laptops and iPads are okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've owned TVs smaller than my laptop screen. That's fair.
Yeah, sames.
You have to. You're older than me. You have to have.
I'd tell you, I don't know why you brought that up like a million times before the show, and now you'd have to bring it up now. But thank you so much, Josh.
It's fun and it's easy.
WandaVision came out in 2020? 2021?
2021.
All right.
We went an entire... Wait, did we go an entire year without anything? When did Far From Home come out?
I want to say end of 2019?
Yes. My notes say 2019. So, yeah, we went an entire year without anything Marvel or anything MCU related.
Yeah.
And then, WandaVision happened in just after the pandemic kind of started dying down the first time.
Mm-hmm. The first time.
Judging by your definition of when the pandemic hit and when it ended, some say it's still going.
Yes, some may say that.
Some might say that. Yeah, like, let's say early pandemic.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's when it came out. And, I enjoyed it at the time.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun thing. That's the thing about Disney shows is like, you gotta tune in every week. And although Echo is going to be their first series where they just put all the episodes out at once.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But I think there is something... I don't know. You could be of two minds about this. Either you're the type of person who loves binging a series, and I can get behind that in some degree.
Yeah.
But something about WandaVision, watching it in real time, week by week, having the mystery sort of unfold, made it more interesting. Maybe.
I agree. It's set up to be...
It was an experience.
Don't like my framing there. That's better. Very professional. We're very professional here, all right?
I don't know which way my fucking hands are going in this because it's mirrored. Like, where's my right? Ah!
Well, we were talking about WandaVision. Anyway, here's some trivia about WandaVision.
Facts.
I gotta say, there's not a whole like IMDb has a ton of trivia for movies. When it
Mhm.
comes to shows, it's like there's like 6 things.
It's funny though, because like there are sources that you can get, trivia and such from, because this is the first thing they did the making of series for Disney Plus for. Am I remembering that right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure that
The
happened.
Assembled series,
Mm-hmm.
which we are not doing in this.
No, we're not talking about Assembled. No. So Matt Shackman, the creator of the show, cites the alternate reality films The Truman Show and Pleasantville as an influence on the show, which I can see. That makes sense.
Yes, immediately.
As confirmed in the making of WandaVision, the main sitcom homages for the show in episode order are The Dick Van Dyke Show, Bewitched, The Brady Bunch, Family Ties, Malcolm in the Middle, and Modern Family. The creators of the show have stated that they tried to focus on family sitcoms. Again, yes, that's totally what they did in this show.
Yep.
I love
no lies detected there.
No, we'll get to talk about those things later. But cinematographer Jess Hall used 47 different camera lenses for the 7 time periods covered in WandaVision, many of which were modern lenses custom modified to keep characteristics of the actual period lenses. Lighting was adjusted to align with the periods being portrayed. Tungsten lights were used in filming the 1950s to 1970s era episodes, as they were commonly used in production during that period, and LEDs were used for things set in the more modern time period.
My favorite thing about a lot of modern art that's trying to emulate old art is the lengths that people will go to fuck around with like current tech to make it do things in a shittier way to match or emulate old tech. It's so fucking fascinating.
This one was interesting. In order to preserve the authenticity of the 50s era sitcom vibes the show was trying to capture, Paul Bettany was painted blue for the scene shot in black and white rather than maroon because blue looked better in grayscale.
Yeah, because his red doesn't really read as red in black and white.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I don't understand how that works. What's the deal with colors, man?
What is the deal with colors? That's the next song from Insane Clown Posse.
Colors, how do they work?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Badly, if fucking Blue Vision is anything to go by.
Bettany shed some light on the series Big Bad. This was like a thing at the time. It's like before the show came out, they were interviewing people involved with the show, and they asked Paul Bettany who were you most excited to work with? And this was his response. I work with this actor that I've always wanted to work with, and we have fireworks together. The scenes are great, and I think people will be really excited. I've always wanted to work with this guy, and the scenes are pretty intense. And everyone was like, who could that be? Who could that be who he's talking about? Turns out he's talking about himself.
Yeah, no, that's the best. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Really good. They are really good. And he's great.
There's some like top tier trolling.
It is. I love when MCU actors do that sort of shit.
Yeah, they're like, well, everyone's going to be like glued to this shit. Everyone's going to be theory crafting and trying to figure out shit before it happens. So let's just fuck with them.
Yeah. Great stuff. Now, let us talk about WandaVision. This is the plot coming from a shitty website I wouldn't visit if I had to visit it. Newlyweds Wanda Max Muffin Vision.
You know what? No, it's fine. Keep going. You're good. You're doing great, sweetie.
I'm not on this I'm not on this website right now reading a thing, okay? Came from somewhere else that's totally not this website. Newlyweds Wanda Max Muffin Vision move into their new suburban home in Westview, New Jersey. As the couple possesses superpowers, they make various attempts to conceal their powers from the rest of town. so that they could act as regular people. Vision quickly adapts to his new workplace, while neighbor Agnes arrives to greet Maximoff, and the two quickly form a close friendship. That evening, Vision unexpectedly invites his boss, Arthur Hart, and his wife for a dinner. Maximoff's powers nearly slip for them to see as she frantically prepares a meal. Vision is eventually forced to use his phasing powers to save Hart after he chokes on food. That's the first episode.
That, you know what? If the synopsis is just like this, this isn't going to be nearly as painful as I thought. Any immediate thoughts about episode 1?
I love the fucking, like I said, Dick Van Dyke. I love the it's kind of like a I Love Lucy sort of thing too. It's like just a really classic sitcom. Like the jokes are super cheesy, but like also kind of funny, sort of in like a
Yeah. It is a bit too long.
it is long. Get that kind of way.
The jokes are cheesy, but they're kind of like overly cheesy back to the point where they become funny again. Like everyone's in on the joke. And yeah, like the way they make this episode with the actual live studio audience, the blue paint to make Vision look red in grayscale, the strings on plates and shit to make everything fly around, all the practical effects. It's so fucking charming. It's hard not to love it.
Yeah.
Even if like at no point have you been... I've never watched a sitcom before the 90s, I would say.
Okay.
But still, like, these are all, like, cultural touchstones.
God, I love being old!
Really yeah, well. They're really broad cultural touchstones, so everything's familiar even if you haven't seen it before. It's taking a whole bunch of things and meshing them together, and it just feels right.
Yeah. They did really good. They did really good with all of the sitcoms that they tried to emulate through this whole show, I thought. And they start off in a good, fun, cheesy place, and this episode is just fully buys into the sitcom situation, like the situational sort of dumb sitcom stuff.
Oh, my boss is coming over for dinner.
Oh, but like she's mistaken it. Yeah.
It's like 100% in on that, and it's like, it feels very genuine, which is nice. And then about 3/4, 4/5 of the way through, things get real dark and kind of creepy.
Yeah.
And it's a real left fucking turn from the way the rest of this is. Very wholesome family fun.
Yeah.
Where a man is almost choking to death.
And
there's, creepy, like, cries for help.
Stop it.
Which, Deborah Jo Rupp is just doing really good work. And, like, not only is the scene itself, like, a real tonal shift, they start using camera angles and film techniques that are anachronistic to the time and like type of media.
Yeah,
like,
you see it
these
switch.
Big wide shots from like the sets. You get like close-ups and zooms, and everything's nice and close on everyone's face. And it's like, okay, well, this is deeply wrong. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yes, this is our first hint at things aren't as what they seem in this.
Things are fucky.
Crazy, silly sitcom-y world.
Well,
now
is it our first or is it our second? Because I would say that the first is the ad break.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the ads are ads. Well, I mean, the ads just
off-putting.
Yeah, they are off-putting, and they also
a couple of like sound effects that seem a little bit amiss. A few names dropped here and there.
Yeah.
Camera angles that hang just a little too long on actresses that stare directly into camera.
Yeah.
And also the line, "Forget your past, this is your future," which hint at other things. Really, really nice, like planting seeds for things to come up later. And as we said at the top, it was like watching this week to week, trying to figure out what was happening while everyone else was kind of doing the same and watching along. It was really, really cool. It really fed into the energy of the show.
Yeah. I just figured out now that I can click a thing here and show comments on the screen.
God. I hate this.
And F-Leet says, pay them. I agree.
I agree. Pay us.
Thank you.
Someone. Anyone. For almost anything. I have very little...
Just any money.
Scruples and very low morals.
I will take your money. Thank you very much. Let's move on to episode 2 now. The next day, Maximoff and Vision prepare for a talent show routine. Again, it's just like a classic thing. At a country club meeting, she meets Geraldine and the two quickly bond. All the while, Maximoff begins to notice strange phenomena in Westview, such as an off-colored toy helicopter and a radio signal hijacked by an unknown man. The couple's performance at the show becomes complicated when Vision swallows a piece of gum, which grinds his gears and causes him to fall into a drunken state. The intoxicated synthezoid inadvertently activates his powers, but Maximoff quickly summons props to make it look like practical effects, eventually winning the couple top prize. Soon after, Maximoff discovers that she is pregnant, but the fetal development proceeds at a much quicker rate than anticipated. Her frequent shrieks of pain causes reality within the town to become distorted. With the help of Geraldine, Maximoff eventually delivers twin boys named Billy and Tommy. They've just skipped an episode.
Yeah, so this is episode 3 now. We've kind of dovetailed one into the other, which fair enough. Episode 3 is very much about the Wanda being pregnant and then that being the course of the episode.
Yeah. Episode 2, another just straight up sort of sitcom-y premise with them doing the talent
very
show.
Silly, but very, very wholesome and genuine. Like there's no snark to it,
right?
Which is nice.
They're not. They're fully sincere in their like
sincerity.
Homage to
so fucking unfamiliar with it.
There's no like snarkiness. They're not like trying to make fun of these sitcoms. They're just like, hey, like this is just a straight up sort of sitcom because Wanda loves those. Eventually, we find out Wanda loves sitcoms, and
you really get the sense that the people who made this also really love sitcoms and the art of making a sitcom, and it's the long history.
Yeah. Thoughts on episode 2? I fucking love this episode. It's probably like my favorite of the whole series.
Yeah, there's so many like standout moments. Drunk Vision is the best.
He's so good, and I love the cartoon.
He has so much like dumb cartoony charisma.
Yeah, I love the cartoony gears with the gum. And
it's very what is that, like I Dream of Jeannie or Bewitched?
Yeah, either one. Yeah. Which the intro of that episode is as well. And even though I hate it. Look, Disney, I don't know if you know, Disney used to make 2D hand animated motion pictures.
What? No.
Do you know this?
All right.
Yeah, they did. They used to get people to like draw on a piece of paper.
Drawing
right?
On paper?
Yeah.
All right, old man.
And then they'd like take photos of the pictures, and then it looked like things were happening.
That sounds fake.
No, it's real. It's real. And so like the intro to like Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie was like animated. And so they tried to emulate that in this episode, but they it's 2021. Is that when it came out?
That is 2021.
2021, whenever they made the show.
Sure.
And so they go, we've got computers now. We don't have to fucking do this anymore. And so they just
fucking Stone Age cavemen.
And so they doing like the modern kind of like cut out animation. Like you can just see it, and it doesn't look like hand drawn.
There's an authenticity that's not quite there. It works for me, but if you're really paying attention and you really have like a love of that sort of thing, I could definitely see that grinding years.
So I wish they did it properly, but they didn't, and here we are.
And anyway, Disney, notorious animation studio is a bit. Yeah.
Yes, that's what this pissed me off. They just like want to avoid doing any 2D animation anymore. Except for that one time where they did Princess and the Frog and no one watched it, and they're like, "Yeah, see this. This is why we didn't. This is why we don't fucking make this shit anymore."
Keith David recently had his birthday, speaking of, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I've got notes here, but my handwriting is fucking atrocious.
Well, I mean,
Anyway.
I definitely can't read any of that.
Look at it.
Yeah, no.
That's gone now. Yeah, so Drunk Vision, very, very good.
Yes.
He gets to be so silly, which is a fun side of him that we don't ever see anywhere.
Trying to fit in with the boys at work, and he's like, I don't eat. And they're like, what do you
What do
like,
you mean you don't eat?
I mean, I don't eat in between the times that I do eat. Or whatever he says.
Or accusing one of his friends of being a communist, and everyone just kind of looks around like,
yeah.
you.
It's good stuff. Fun episode. And then, yeah, episode 3 is just them sort of dealing with the pregnancy and Wanda's...
Which is, like, the big takeaway from this episode is that Wanda ends up pregnant, except it only happens in the last minute or two.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's the very end of the episode.
Yeah, but they kind of like hint towards that being a thing the entire time, because you got creepy for the children chants coming out from all the like townspeople.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got continued subtle ominous vibes. You got the mysterious red helicopter in a world that is grayscale.
Yes.
You've got the creepy voice over the radio, which, like, in the moment with no context, God does it like, oh, what could that be? It's so
what
mysterious.
could that be?
Who could that be? And no one had a clue.
Nah, no idea.
And yeah, colored blood as well. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
The Strucker watch.
The Strucker watch, yeah.
I'd wear maybe I wouldn't wear a Strucker watch. I don't
I would.
I need to be wearing anything even vaguely Nazi associated.
I'll wear it for sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll get 2 of them.
Yeah. Then you can wear them on your wrists and be like, hang glider.
Exactly.
Catherine Hahn is so good as Agnes.
She is. She's
so
great in this whole
funny.
show.
I think she is also at her best in maybe this episode, maybe the 90s episode.
Yeah, the 90s episode is really good.
But this one where she's like subtly throwing shade at all the other like housewives in the neighborhood and like sneaking alcohol into the meetings, and she's very good.
Yeah.
Was there anything super pressing in here? Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up before we move on.
Yes.
The theme songs. We've only had 2 at this point. They use like a leitmotif, which is like the da, 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 da. No, that's not it at all. But you know what I mean.
I get you. The WandaVision thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Na, 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 na. Yeah. So they use it in the first one, and it's like a completely different theme to the second one, which is a completely different theme to the third one. But they all have this underlying motif, which is really nice. And
yes,
as you said, they use like the animated thing, which, you know, could be more authentic, but we get what we got. And
we get the point, I guess.
For the purposes of
we know what they're going for.
It works. Yeah. And the fact that they all have these vastly different opening themes, and it's all like, just so much effort goes into making this feel right.
Yes, absolutely. I love all the theme songs. Like as soon as the intro starts, you're like, oh, they're going for that.
Oh, that's
thing.
What this is.
Yeah. And they're all fucking great.
Yep.
Days prior, Monica Rambeau returns to work at SWORD after being restored to life in the blip 3 weeks earlier, meeting with director Tyler Hayward. Rambeau is assigned to accompany FBI agent Jimmy Woo to investigate a mass disappearance of people in Westview, only to be absorbed into the town when she discovers a force field surrounding the perimeter. SWORD quickly assembles a base at the site, with Woo and Dr. Darcy Lewis being summoned to help with the investigation. Lewis discovers television signals within the radiation emitted from the barrier and uses them to tap into the WandaVision program, thus allowing SWORD to track the events within the town. Oh, it's very
complex.
So scientific.
Yep.
Within the show, the FBI was able to identify Westview's missing persons as WandaVision's cast, including Rambo as Geraldine. Sword began to make various attempts to reach Maximoff in the town, such as sending an agent through the sewers and interfering with radio wavelengths after Billy and Tommy had been birthed. Wanda angrily blasts Rambo out of Westview after she mentions Pietro Maximoff's death to Ultron.
Why did it say birthed and not after they were born?
No, after they were birthed.
Anyway, since we're still kind of in the overlap between episode 3 and 4,
yeah.
Episode 3 does a fun thing with fruit, which is like referencing
the size of the baby.
The size of the baby,
yeah.
But also supposedly, I can't remember where I read this, or maybe it was in The Assembled, where they talked about how dealing with pregnant actresses, you would have them like hide it behind a bowl of fruit,
right.
or they would be wearing a really big coat, and there's like a lot of different little references to that sort of thing happening within the episode, like Wanda magicking a coat onto herself to hide it from Geraldine.
Yeah,
neat little references.
Yeah, it's all really good stuff. And then yes, so the first 3 episodes, they're all just like sitcom-y. They have little bits here and there of like weird stuff happening, and then episode 4 is just like it begins with just Monica being re-put back together.
Yeah, undusted.
Being undusted after the blip, and this is our, I guess it's our
second.
Well, I mean, there's Spider-Man.
Yeah, and it shows one specific instance of people reappearing after the blip, which was band practice is still on the basketball court when the basketball team are playing.
Yeah.
This is significantly less funny and much more stressful.
Yeah, this is
it's a more like down-to-earth, ground-level view of it.
That's what I meant. And it's really good. It's a really fucking good way to kick off the episode and also let you know, hey, this isn't just this isn't just like a funny sitcom show. This is like there's like other stuff going on.
Well, I think it's worth noting that like each episode is titled in a very thematically appropriate way for the sitcom theme.
Yes.
But also in a way that makes sense. First one filmed before a live studio audience, because I mean it literally was.
Yeah.
Second one was Don't Touch That Dial. Which third, now in color. Fourth is We Interrupt This Program, which is like, yep, we are having an entire episode aside to figure out, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's it. Look, I like that they. I don't know. I'm sort of torn actually on if I like this or not. The fact that like they just decided, look, we have to tell them what's going on like immediately. Like we have to just have this one episode where we just lay it all out. And why can't you just like, I don't know, do it? Still keep doing it. Like you took 3 episodes with like little hints here and there. Just keep doing until you eventually have it all out. Or like I understand that
it's like they've just emptied out a puzzle box in front of you.
Yeah,
and let you kind of figure out some of it, and then they've just shown you the back of the box, like, there
exactly.
it is.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly
to their credit, they don't show you everything in episode 4. They show you a lot. They give you the context for the situation, but they don't tell you why it's happening. They don't tell you who's doing it, and they don't tell you to what extent it's being done. So I mean, they leave enough questions.
Isn't this the episode where it ends with her saying it's Wanda? Like Wanda's doing.
Yes. So, but what does that mean? And also, does Wanda know that Wanda's doing it?
That's true. Yeah, we don't know that Wanda is unaware.
Yeah, we don't know like what her level of consciousness regarding it is. We don't know like if she's done this with intent from the start. We don't know if she's just woken up to it at the point where she blasts Monica out of the sitcom world.
Yeah,
there's still like plenty of questions left unanswered. We don't know what the fuck is the deal with Vision.
Right,
that man's dead.
Yeah, that's definitely something. Yeah, that we don't find out.
And we see his fucking ghost face in one of them.
Uh-huh.
Is that the
Yeah, we'll
first
do.
episode where we see that? Or is that the second?
I think it's the third.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it is the third after he comes back inside after talking to Herb,
Yeah, and yeah,
and
yeah,
Herb is, like,
because
cutting the fucking wall with his
yeah,
sketch trimmer,
yeah. That yes,
and you
I'm
see
pretty
his,
sure.
like, crazy, like, gouged out skull
Yeah,
face.
it's cool.
Yep, it's horrifying.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, I don't know,
really cool.
they do leave just enough,
Mhm.
vague, but I don't disagree. I do feel like you probably could have gone an episode more without unveiling the whole thing, and then add
Right.
like episode 5. Then you go, pull the curtains
Yeah.
wide open and show
Mhm.
the bigger picture.
Because 3 ends with a Vision coming inside and being like, "What happened to Geraldine?"
Yep.
And Wanda's just like, "She left," or whatever she says.
Yep.
And then yeah, the episode straight after is, "This is exactly what happened. This is what happened." Um, so yeah, I would have liked them see them stretch it out, but also it's a one-off series that they have 9 episodes to get through.
Yeah.
So I can
We're on
also
a time limit. We got
understand
things to do.
maybe why they wanted to sort of speed things up.
Yeah. But like, hey, episode 4, we get Jimmy Woo, we get Darcy, we
Hmm.
get Monica, we get like all these characters that we know, not in like
Yeah.
like them big-ish parts, but they're not like
Hmm.
lead roles in the show. But they get
Right.
to be doing stuff, and we get more non-superpowered MCU people interacting with one another and forming connections, and that's always fun.
Yep. Good
Also,
stuff.
Jimmy
Yeah, I
Woo's
really
perfected
liked.
his fucking card tricks.
Yeah, he does did the card trick, which is great. Great callback, and yeah, I really liked the episode overall. Like, even though I feel like
How
they
could
didn't
you
need to do
not?
it,
It
but
ends with Voodoo Child.
it does.
It's
Um,
fucking
and
cool.
yeah, like I really like the episode, and I like um the relationships it's starting here, and
Yeah.
then everyone works really well together, and it's a fun time. It's a fun
That is
episode.
something like everyone's got really good chemistry.
Yeah,
Um, we don't spend enough time with Wanda or Vision inside the greater MCU, but to have them have a show by themselves, man, they're great together.
yeah, it's good.
Um,
Bettany's really
Darcy
good.
bounced off well against anyone.
Hmm.
Jimmy Woo, fantastic. Can't get enough of him.
Yeah,
Catherine Hahn, also very good.
yeah. Paul Bettany, like he's so good, like as this Vision, like because Vision up until now has been just like Mr. Robot Man who talks kind of like, I don't know,
He's
he
very,
talks like a
very straight
robot
laced.
sort
Like
of.
he is a robot who's like figured out English and is like still putting it together in a machine language kind of way.
Right. Yes. Where in this he's just kind of a dude that looks like Vision, and
And then
he's
sometimes
just
he's
fun.
just Vision.
He's just having a fun time, and it's he's great.
Yep.
Um, with Rambo's first-person intel, Hayward identifies Maximoff as the sole assailant of the missing persons case, and thus intensifies Sword's efforts to shatter her reality. An armed drone is sent into Westview to assassinate Maximoff, but she emerges from the town with the drone destroyed, warning Hayward to leave her alone. In the meanwhile, Lewis sends an email to Vision's workplace, who, in an act of suspicion, momentarily releases a co-worker's true personality. Vision is horrified to learn from him that Maximoff had been keeping him in a state of mental enslavement, and thus confronts his wife on the matter with fury, who denies any wrongdoing. As their argument escalates, Wanda is forced to answer the door, who she meets and embraces a seemingly alive Pietro.
That's not a sentence that
That's
they
not a
formulated there.
sentence. There's a word
But
that
like, I
doesn't
get
belong
it.
there.
There's a brother apparently at the door.
Yeah.
Or a
Okay.
hug.
So,
Uh-huh.
this yeah, again, good episode, and I love the I I have questions about this made up Vision that
Yeah.
Wanda's created. Like
Boy, so does he.
he still has all of his powers that he would theoretically have if he was real,
Yeah.
which means that he can undo the mind fuckery that Wanda's doing to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of. It's kind
I
of.
buy it.
It's. I don't
Like
know.
his powers come from the Mind Stone. Her powers are, linked to the Mind Stone in some ways. There's enough significant overlap there, and also I don't care enough to question it.
Fair enough. It's just very
Plus,
convenient.
like, you can like reach inside people's heads and fuck with their brains physically.
It's very convenient. That's all I'm saying.
Yes,
That you can do that.
it's a sitcom, and it's
Is it though?
superheroes.
Yeah, I
The
guess.
two most convenient things in the world.
You're right. I shouldn't have overthought it.
How dare you have questions?
Whoopsie. Yes, this is cool. I love the guy sort of getting you're waking up and then being like, oh, it's my family or whatever he says. I don't know.
Yeah, giving you a peek inside the fucking horror.
Yes, because you still
God.
don't know really what's happening. You don't understand that these people are being mind controlled, really.
Mind slaved.
Yeah. And so there's our first sort of glimpse at, oh shit, like it's pretty fucked up.
Oh, hey, it's pretty bad inside there, huh?
Yeah, apparently.
Anyway, back in you go.
Yeah. And then like the scene with Vision confronting Wanda and them having the argument, and it's really fucking good. It's really good.
Like full on arcing up, floating in the air, powers flaring.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Really
And finishing with the Pietro.
Yeah, I have thoughts about that.
Okay, firstly, let me say,
yes,
I like it. Like, it's a fun thing. It's a fun
Sure.
thing that they did. They get the guy that plays Quicksilver in the other movie to play Quicksilver in the show.
And that just raises more questions.
It does. It raises a lot more questions. And I don't agree with the people that online who say, "Oh, they just did it for a boner joke." That's not the only look. There's more to it than that.
Part. Yeah, no, that's like very surface layer of this thing.
Exactly.
They are definitely having a laugh.
They are.
But it is not the boner joke thing.
No.
And like, do I take umbrage with them having a laugh? No, not necessarily, but I definitely feel like they think they're really smart for doing it. And like, I'm fine with what they did ultimately. And there's fun things they do within this that I really, really like. There's a line that happens in episode 6 where I think one of the kids says "kick ass."
Yes.
With him.
Yeah.
And Wanda repeats it. I'm like, that's a weird thing to repeat. And then I realized, wait, he was in Kick-Ass. So was the original Quicksilver. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's a fun little thing that you can do with that. And just doing it in this way where everyone's watching the show week to week and kind of, figuring stuff out as we go.
Mm-hmm.
God, did it raise so many fucking questions.
Yeah, it did.
Is it really Pietro? Is it a different Pietro? Is this X-Men? Are X-Men coming in now? Oh God!
Yeah.
And then no, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Which, it's happening eventually. Probably, I don't fucking know.
Yep.
Deadpool and Wolverine. See it in theaters sometime in the next 2 years.
Yeah, they're fully going for it. Even though the writer's strike's happening, they're just like, let's fuck it. Let's just keep going.
Maybe you should pay some writers. That'd be good. Pay us, pay writers, pay everyone.
Everyone should get paid.
Here's the means of production. Grab your hammers and sickles. Let's go, boys.
That's it. I got Vicks.
What do I have? I have a knife.
Yours is probably better.
I hope you realize that this stream can never be monetized because I have a knife on here.
You can cut them, and then I'll put the Vicks in it.
Oh, no! It's horrible. Why would you do that? You're a monster.
Take that!
Take that, capitalists.
As the Halloween spirit kicks into
money.
Yeah, money's good. As the Halloween spirit kicks into full gear in the town, the Maximoff twins, who had aged themselves up to the age of 10, quickly grow accustomed to the latest arrival to the family. Vision leaves on his own accord for a community watch, while Hayward orders Rambo, Wu, and Lewis off the base for challenging his orders. But they manage to sneak back inside and discover from secretive files that Hayward had been tracking Vision's vibranium signature. Instead of a community watch, Vision had been traveling further into the town's outskirts and discover people frozen from their free will. He eventually encounters Agnes, who informs the Avenger that he is actually deceased. With his suspicions intensifying, Vision locates the town perimeter and attempts to breach through the barrier, only to disintegrate in front of Hayward. When Billy alerts his mother about Vision, she expands the barrier, enveloping him, Lewis, and the sword base. Hayward was able to escape, while Rambo and Wu also escape with Hayward's files.
If I was told I was dead, my suspicions would also become increased.
Yeah, for sure. This is so like they'll skip. They'll just put like an episode, like a sentence from an episode, and then they'll spend 700 sentences on like one scene. Yeah.
Welcome to the brave new world of talking about a streaming series that aired through 2 years ago.
Yep. Halloween episode, probably my second favorite episode.
It's very good.
Yeah.
As not a huge sitcom watcher,
I
feel like this one is the one I had the most like cultural reference to because Malcolm in the Middle was great.
Yeah, and I love the theme song.
It's very good. Fuck.
It is so Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
and they even
fantastic.
They have the kids talking to the camera, and it's the music, like that kind of wacky kind of music that they play. Yeah, it's like
also like the jokes are way goofier. There's a cutaway to young Wanda and Pietro in Sokovia trick-or-treating, and it's just like the road behind them is an active war zone. Cars on fire and shit, like gunfire. It's so goofy, but it works so well.
That's really good.
Also, me gusta mucho chili con carne. The idea that Vision's costume is a luchador is the funniest shit in the world.
And I
hate it.
Wanda's?
She's a Sokovian fortune teller.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. But also, this is a good excuse to get like the classic dumb comic book costumes in here. Vision looks especially stupid with his dumb, like tiny shorts.
That's a Vision right there.
Yeah, that's a Vision you can hang your hat on.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I really like this episode, and the episode after this too. I also really like the Modern Family type episode as well.
Yeah, they definitely draw attention to the fact that like early 2000s and 2010s sitcoms really do a lot of not necessarily fourth wall breaking. I guess it is. Malcolm in the Middle's definitely was, and then Modern Families is like talking to a crew that are there.
Yes.
But they also do the Office thing of staring directly in camera.
Yeah, it's the like fake documentary sort of style.
Yeah, no, I would never do that.
Are you doing it?
It's really hard to do because my face isn't like.
When the camera, it doesn't work as well when the camera is steady and not moving around.
Yeah, that's true. They've really got to like focus in, zoom a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Got to zoom. The zoom is the max. Turn. Yeah.
This is like the most we get of Pietro while he's around, and he's like the typical cool uncle.
Yes.
Boy, is
Uncle Jesse.
He's
Uncle Jesse for sure.
Yeah. Well, especially when he first shows up with the leather jacket and everything.
Yeah. This whole episode's fun, and Vision seeing Agnes in the car, and her, because we still don't know what her deal is.
We know what's going on. Yeah, she's. We know that she's a little bit stranger than everyone else. We don't know that. We suspect that because we see most of the people acting normal most of the time. Yeah. She seems definitely in on something because you see her in episode 3 kind of just chatting away with Herb about Geraldine, like spreading rumors and shit. And it's like, She could just be like the busybody neighbor, or maybe she's up to something more, and everyone's thinking like, well, I don't know any Agnes from any comics, but I do know this character. Maybe this is who it is.
This character that she was rumored to be playing a long time ago.
Look, I never saw those, so I still get full points.
This is back when I would definitely read a lot of, like, I stay away from spoilers now for MCU stuff, but back then I was definitely like, what can I find out about every single MCU thing that's
in happened. Fairness, in the year leading up to this, there was nothing else to do. There wasn't MCU shit to watch, so you had to like.
It's true. I'm like, just tell me anything.
I'll suck your dick for MCU details.
Tell me!
When's Wolverine getting here?
When are we gonna say X-Men? Where's Fantastic Four?
Little did you know it would be 10 years from that question being asked.
God.
We're getting older by the second. Yeah, so that's where we get the kick-ass mention, which I have to believe is a knowing reference. It's not a big thing, but it is there.
The kids use their powers.
Yeah, you get a little bit of what is it? Speed and Wiccan?
Yes, that is it.
Yeah, I like the Young Avengers.
Yeah.
I kind of hope they actually show up someday.
I'm sure they will.
Maybe more acting talent?
There's enough. Maybe. There's enough. I mean,
look, they're kids. I'm not gonna fault them for it now. They're kids. And they get to do like goofy shit in sitcoms, and they do it surprisingly well. But I think that kind of works to their strengths as kids.
There are enough young superhero characters now that they can definitely do a Young Avengers.
Well, yeah, sure. All you need is 4.
Yeah, exactly. So do it. Yes, good episode. And Vision trying to break out of the thing, and he's falling apart. So he can't leave.
Yeah, so that's one thing that's up with Vision.
Yeah.
I like that at some point between episode 4 and episode 6, someone drops the name the Hex. I think it's Darcy calls it the Hex. What a great name for it. Not only is it hexagonal shaped, it's very witchy. There's hexagon like patterns all over the fucking show. Yeah. It's good name for a thing. You did good
for a witchy thing.
It's so much better than the Blip. The Hex, great name for this situational anomaly. The Blip, fucking terrible.
The Blip is the worst thing that's ever happened to the MCU.
Really,
just the name, not the thing that happened.
No,
just the name. The
Blip. That's been really interesting.
Yes, that was an interesting thing.
Every time we get to see the Blip and the effects of the Blip, I'm just like, yes, please tell me more.
Yes, I want to know.
Post-crisis world that I definitely don't have any sort of familiarity with.
Please tell me what happened in those 5 years.
Please tell me what happened in the multi-year gap where the world stopped and people were gone for a while. I can't relate.
That would be really cool to know about.
Fuck. Sorry, I'm having a moment. I like how creepy it is at the edges of the Hex, where people are like NPCs running on a very basic loop, but also glitching the fuck out.
Yeah, it's like
raises more questions as to the horror of this situation. Someone brings up, I think Pietro brings up, "Hey, where'd you stash all the kids?"
Yeah,
and one is like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Hey, you just wheel them out for the holiday episode." But like, where are they? They're just like in bed. What's the go? Where are all the kids at? Because there are a shit ton of kids in this episode that have never been anywhere ever. What the fuck?
We get that reveal later, and it's horrifying.
Yeah, it sucks.
I was gonna say something, I forgot. Wanda's expansion. Oh yeah, so she expands it.
Wanda's expansion.
Wanda's expansion.
Drawings of that.
She expands the Hex. And that's what we're talking about. And it's a pretty cool scene. I like it sort of like sucking everyone into it.
Yeah. I like that you get to follow it along, and literally not only does like all the aesthetic changed from whatever it is on the outside, military encampments and shit, to used car dealerships, circuses, all that shit. But it also changes from night to day.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what the fuck is time in a sitcom? Time is whatever Wanda wants it to be, apparently.
Exactly.
In fact, I think they bring that up in the 90s episode where the kid's like, where's Dad? He's at work. On a Saturday? That's Monday. But it was Saturday this morning.
Yeah.
So it is interesting that the kids and Vision seem immune to a lot of the shenanigans. Although Vision's like, he's aware enough of it all that he can pretend not to be.
Right.
Because like he's still at the start of this episode talking about going on the neighborhood watch and playing along. You know, it's Halloween, ruffians, etc. And then he fucks off. And then he goes and does some sleuthing on his own. Whereas the kids are kids, so they're too dumb to play stupid. You know what I mean?
Right. They're too dumb to play stupid. That's
So they just say the things that come to their mind because you know, this is just their life.
That's it. Wanda's expansion causes her to lose control of her reality, with multiple objects phasing in and out at times. Wanting time for herself, she sends Billy and Tommy off with Agnes. Restored Vision meets with Lewis and learns from her past. His past, from his creation as Jarvis to his death at the hands of Thanos. Outside of town, Rambo successfully re-enters. Could you imagine
if it like halfway through Monica was just replaced by John Rambo? We get a very different ending.
She walks into the hex and just becomes Rambo.
Ugh. Fucking Sylvester Stallone, fucking bandana and machine gun. Ah!
Turns into Arnold Schwarzenegger. Rambo played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Look, yeah, that's the ultimate trick. I'll admit, my slide's not on. Wow. Fuck. Oh, what do I have to do to get Schwarzenegger in the MCU?
I don't know, but it's very funny.
How is Sly in there? Not, yeah, we'll get there.
I mean, we've been there. We've talked about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
No. I mean, we'll get to Arnold one day.
Oh yeah, sure. Hopefully one day.
I'll put his name up there for Wonder Man.
He's too busy making not great Netflix series.
Yeah, but who isn't?
It's true. Outside of town, Rambo successfully re-enters Westview while obtaining superpowers due to repeated exposure to the barrier's radiation. She visits Wanda at her home and tries to warn her about Hayward, only to be attacked for mentioning his name. Wanda is brought by Agnes into her home where she notices her son's missing. She is lured into a gothic basement where Agnes reveals herself as the witch Agatha Harkness.
Ah, who could have seen that coming? Except
crazy. Harkness subjects Maximoff to relive her past in an effort to deduce where her powerful reality warping abilities originate, revealing that the Westview anomaly was spawned from a fit of anguish from the grieving Avenger, thus placing the residents under her will and creating another Vision out of thin air. Harkness eventually concludes that Maximoff was the mythical Scarlet Witch.
Ooh, spooky.
All right.
So that was episode 7 and 8 in one.
It was. That's what that was.
So you get your 2000s.
We get our Modern Family episode.
Modern Family.
Yeah. Vision having little interviews here. Is fun.
He does his look to camera while he and Darcy are talking.
Camera. Yeah. The whole circus thing is a weird, fun thing.
Yeah, that's very strange. Like that's the most out of place thing that anything has felt in this entire series.
I guess it makes sense that like Wanda is like, these are fucking clowns.
You fucking clowns, idiots.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna make this whole thing a circus. So it does make sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense in that context, but like when I think 2010s sitcom, circus is not the first thing that comes to mind. Maybe like the Malcolm in the Middle stuff, definitely the earlier stuff.
Yeah.
But circuses just aren't very modern. Especially not that circus. They got like a strong man in tights.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look particularly strong. Gets clocked by Darcy.
Wanda doesn't know what circuses are.
She knows what Sokovian circuses are, and I bet you a
Yeah, I
modern
guess.
Sokovia circus looks like an old-fashioned American circus. They just get
For
it
sure.
like 30 years after.
That's it.
Like fucking reruns of Friends. They'd just be getting those now.
Right. Exactly.
I like
Yeah.
they're talking like the kids are talking about what is it, playing games or something, and
Mhm.
which one's Speed? Is that Tommy or Billy? I want to say Tommy.
I think it's Tommy.
Anyway, Speed says something about like, oh, I got to her first, I get to choose, and then Billy's like, you always get to her first. You're a fucking speedster, man.
Tommy is Speed.
Right. Yeah, Tommy sounds like a fucking speedster name, or annoying brat.
Okay,
I don't
sure.
like speedsters. Yeah. I have a real problem with the Flash. Fuck that guy.
What about fuck, what's his name? The kid from The Incredibles.
Oh, Dash?
Dash! Dash is cool.
No, fuck that kid.
No!
He's already, he learns a lesson. He's
a
less
good kid.
Prick. Kick that child, fucking. Oh man, Wanda is really bad at kid pep talks. She like starts off one, and
she's only been a mum for like 2 days.
That's fair.
If that,
or
because
2
we
decades.
don't know what a day is. No.
Canada's 2 decades. No, you couldn't. Not realistically. But she starts off fairly strong and then ends with like, life is meaningless. Bye. I'm going to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, Wanda's kind of downtime episode. She's just chilling. She's like,
she literally says, I'm putting myself under self-quarantine, which at the time was like,
yes.
Oh!
Yeah.
They're just like us.
These superheroes are just like us.
Yeah, causing reality warping grief anomalies.
I've done that like 3 times.
Yeah, no, I was there for the last one. I do not want to be there for the next one.
Well, make sure you're not. Didn't like you being there, honestly.
Brought kind of ruined it. Vibe.
You put the whole vibe down.
Great, glad, I'm happy.
We were all having fun, and then Josh just wandered into my fucking hex and ruined it all.
Started Agatha Harknessing this shit. It didn't mention it in the synopsis, but we get a name drop of Cataract as the Sword Vision project, which fantastic name for like an anti-vision kind of thing.
Yes.
Very solid. We also get the drop of the term Nexus during the ads.
Yep.
Which, if you read the comics...
Oh, what was it? The Malcolm... Sorry, I have to talk about the other ad. The Malcolm in the Middle episode had the shark.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's horrifying.
What is with that ad?
I don't know. It's really creepy.
That can't be a way to sell a product. It's like, this product's really hard to open and you'll die while trying to eat it.
Well, only if you're starving. Like, if you're not malnourished, presumably you can open the bag, the yogurt. It was yogurt.
Okay, so only eat this if you're a fat fuck.
Only eat this if you're like healthy enough to open up yogurt, which this kid on a desert island clearly was not. God, it's creepy. And I think that was the one for everyone who was like, yeah, it's Mephisto.
yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, okay, this one might actually, maybe it is Mephisto. Maybe they do say the devil's in the details.
So many,
all.
Yeah, so many goddamn rumors about all sorts.
Do we have like a short list of who the antagonist could have been? Because I feel like we can name a couple off the top of our heads.
I didn't.
Like Mephisto, Nightmare, Dr. Strange.
Nightmare was a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Nightmare being a big rumor.
Yeah. Nah. Would have been. It's hard to say with these things because like this ultimately did turn out quite well. And I don't think the devil being the bad guy really would have made it that much better.
Right.
But I do want Mephisto there.
Yeah.
If only because that means that somewhere out there is a Ghost Rider who is alive. and doing
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Rider things.
Oh,
Hopefully
yeah.
riding one of those stupid old-timey bikes with the big wheel on the front. My favorite Ghost Rider.
It's the only way to Ghost Ride.
Followed very closely by old lady Ghost Rider who's in like a mobility scooter.
Yeah, good stuff.
Anyway, yeah,
And then
Nexus events and entities. Nexus is a term that will pop up in, God, I want to say 10 episodes of this from now, where we talk about Multiverse of Madness.
yep, it sure will.
Yep. What the fuck does that say?
I like it. This episode diving into Wanda's past. I like getting more of her backstory because we haven't had any really up until now.
We have had the bare bones of
Yeah,
Tony Stark weaponry destroyed our home, presumably
Yep.
killed our family, and now we've been radicalized.
yeah, exactly. But we get like a nice little throwback, and we get to see her and her family enjoying sitcoms, and yeah, it's this is a good episode, and diving into sort of well, how she got where she was and how she started this whole thing.
They give the lowest of the low points on the Wanda Maximoff roller coaster, which is really just one big dip.
Right.
Basically just a giant slide.
Yeah.
No loops. No, the loops are when she like explodes Lagos or something.
Right.
But yeah, you really get the low points of, hey, family dead, under a bed, stuck with a bomb, might die.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, now you've volunteered for experimental Nazi research because fuck Tony Stark. Understandable. Maybe not the Nazi bit, but definitely.
Tony Stark fucking sucks. That's what we've discovered through this whole series. Tony Stark is the worst.
Continues to be the source of everything wrong in the MCU, including to some degree this, because if there wasn't a Tony Stark, there wouldn't be a Wanda Maximoff Scarlet Witch, and there wouldn't be a Vision either, who had to die.
Exactly.
And yeah, no, you know what? I'm not going to harp on that. Fuck Tony Stark.
Glad he's dead.
Honestly, kind of glad. Yeah, so we also get her low point after joining the Avengers. Yes. Brother dead, in a different country, robot creeper.
Right. Yeah, we got that scene with her and Vision.
The one that everyone went wild for.
Yeah, because of one line.
When you say it like that, when it's Wanda and Vision on the bed and everyone went wild for it. It's not that.
Love that shit, bro.
No, those kids happened completely. That was an immaculate conception.
No, it wasn't. They make the kids in the show. In the second episode, at the beginning of the second episode, they put the beds together. Because in one of the other episodes, one of the one with the doctor, and they're asking the doctor questions about like how long it takes. Vision says like, "Oh, how big should a baby be if it's been like 11 hours?"
Yeah.
So,
granted, I assume the 11 hours is from the time that she starts showing to then, but
no, it's when they banged last.
Something density powers.
In the meanwhile, Hayward was able to refurbish the original Vision's body as his sentient weapon before releasing it into Westview to kill Maximoff and her Vision. The two Visions duel with each other in the air while Harkness combats Maximoff at the town center. There, Harkness guilt trips Maximoff.
Are you okay? You seem to be dying.
Guilt trips? Come on.
I mean, not wrong, but it does seem to put the onus on Agatha, and this really isn't her fault.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like Agatha's just kind of like telling her how it is. She's not
this is a truth bomb.
It's like,
lady, you've been torturing this town. What? No, stop guilt tripping me.
Stop making me feel bad.
You're just a hater. Anyway, everyone's very sad and distressed, and it's quite uncomfortable.
After this guilt trip, Maximoff by releasing every Westview resident from her control, leading them to bombard her with pleas and questions. Rambo is held hostage by Pietro, but removes the necklace Harkness used to control him, revealing his true identity as Ralph Boner. Maximoff agrees to destroy the anomaly, but halts the process once realizing she'll lose Vision, Billy, and Tommy with it. Hayward was able to infiltrate Westview safely and attempts to kill the twins, but are stopped by them. Rambo and Lewis. Wanda's Vision makes peace with the original Vision and restores the latter's memories, causing him to flee. Harkness attempts to steal Wanda's chaos magic, but loses her own magic in the brawl as Wanda fully morphs into the Scarlet Witch. The defeated Harkness is then imprisoned within her Agnes persona by Wanda as she reunites with her family for the last time.
Take a breath, buddy. You did good.
And there's still another paragraph.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. That was a lot of words that I said after Ralph Boner.
Yeah, and I mean, no one really expected you to say that many after Ralph Boner. Really could have stopped.
That's very much a paragraph ender right there.
Yeah. Always end on the boner.
Always end on the boner. Look, not a fan of this episode because I feel like there could have been a way to make this more interesting with, like, you know, this is a place that Wanda has created. She can do anything in it, right? And it just becomes Wanda and Agatha throwing shit at each other.
Thrown
like
down in suburbia.
Let's float up into the sky into Greenland and just throw the computers at each other.
Yeah, the only thing it's missing really is a big beam of light going into the sky.
Yes, it needs it.
Which, I mean, there are big light things.
No, she does do that.
Yeah.
She does do that at one point. So it's not missing it at all.
She becomes the big light. Become the big light in your life.
Exactly. Do what Wanda does at all times. She's a great role model.
Yeah. Gonna have to hard disagree on that one.
All right, you can disagree. I'm just saying she's pretty great.
There's a fantastic line delivery in episode 8 where Wanda says to Agatha, "Who are you?" And Agatha's like, "Who are you? You with all your power and shit. I had to go to school for this shit." But there's so much shade and malice behind it. Who are you?
Right.
It's very good.
Agatha all along.
Oh, it's beautiful. Agatha all along is such an earworm of a theme.
It is, yeah.
I re-listened to it about 4 times. I spent more time listening to Agatha all along than I did watching consciously any of the show.
Yeah, it's so good, and the reveal of all the stuff she was behind, and like
all the little weird things that have been happening. Here's what you didn't see.
Yeah, and I killed Sparky too.
And then she has such a perfect witch laugh.
Yeah, she really does. Fuck. Yeah.
Also, the little hint of her big dumb villain witch costume at the very start of that song is very good. I like it a lot.
It's really, really good. But like when that song hits, it's like you still don't really know much about. Like it reveals that she was kind of behind certain things, but you don't. Because it says it's Agatha all along, so it's like, well, maybe Agatha's controlling the hex in some
the
way.
Architect of it all.
Yeah. And then it's not. That's
it's just the all along is just her like messing with it, tearing at the seams a little bit, and trying to Wanda to wake up so she can fuck with her.
Yeah, exactly. But
they somehow fit. What is it? Perfidious into a lyric.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? That's the real magic.
Let's see.
She's insidious, so perfidious, I think
That's
it is.
it. Yeah, she's insidious. Haha,
Like
so
you-
perfidious that you haven't even noticed. And the pity is pity.
Oh, it's so fucking catchy. I've had it just in my head for the last 3 minutes on a loop. That'll be.
Yeah,
I'll fall asleep tonight, and that's all I'll hear in my dreams.
that's all you need to go to sleep.
So yes, it all does culminate in a big dumb MCU fight, and maybe
Especially
not the most interesting.
Especially the visions as well. Like they're the most.
Yes,
Two robots
big,
fighting.
like fly smash, gravel
Yeah.
smash, explosion smash.
Yeah.
Not the most interesting way that this very interesting MCU thing could have ended. It's fine. I do understand that we kind of have to get back to a status quo of some kind here. It can't all be the really good, really interesting shit. And
some of this really boring, uninteresting stuff.
I don't know if I'd call it boring or uninteresting.
I'm just saying.
It's very much the standard.
Yeah.
Like at some point we had to get back to equilibrium.
Being an MCU thing.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point we had to fall back in line. And that's the reality of it, unfortunately. In line with all of this reality.
Yeah. But I feel like my thing is like I feel like they could have gone I don't know. Wanda could have like
more
changed
reality bending shit.
Yeah, like done more reality bending stuff instead of just we're floating in the sky throwing shit at each other. Like they could have been more to it. It feels like this episode feels like they had spent all the money and we've got none left. So what are we going to do?
Also, we've kind of run out of ideas. We've used a lot of them, in fairness.
And it's like, well, fucking, I don't know. They got to fight, I guess.
Well, like, I struggle to think of what you might do, simply because, like, Wanda's powers have never been anything more than vague in a combat sense. She moves her hands around. She moves stuff around. Like, it's usually portrayed as telekinesis.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the extent. She shoots some kind of red wiggly woos, as Quicksilver says.
But this show has proven that she's capable of more than that.
Reality, yes.
Yeah.
But how do you put that into a combat scenario, which they clearly wanted this to be?
Let me tell you, this could have been like a fucking Mysterio situation. She could have confused Agatha. She could have like changed everything around to make her believe a certain thing.
She kind of does do that, at least at one point.
Well, yeah, but like it's just like, oh, there's runes.
No, I mean the flashback to Salem.
Oh yeah, sure. But then
like,
Agatha's
it does play with
powerful.
that. But again, yeah, exactly. Agatha's powerful. Wanda is still grieving.
She's powerful. She's inexperienced, so she's
just not tapped into it completely. Yeah. Like everything powerful she has done has been mostly by accident.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's fine. It's definitely a low point of the series, but the rest of the series has been such a high point that it's really hard to be mad about it.
Yeah.
Also, Agatha gets crushed by a car, and then when Wanda goes to check, she just sees boots like from under the car. I'm like, is that a Wizard of Oz reference? That's cute.
Absolutely. With the Westview anomaly receding, the town is slowly reverted to normal. Wanda bids goodbye to Billy and Tommy in bed while sharing one last kiss with her vision before they disappear forever. Returning to the town center to the scowls of her former thralls, Maximoff apologizes to Rambeau and makes...
Sorry, her former thralls.
Her former thralls.
Victims.
No, thralls.
I mean, thrall implies victimhood, but like, thralls makes them sound like they're in the wrong.
Yeah. Maximoff apologizes to Rambeau and makes peace with her before ultimately fleeing Westview. In the aftermath, the police arrives and arrest Hayward while Wu takes over the investigation. Rambeau is summoned to outer space by an old friend of her mother's, and Maximoff retreats to the wilderness to study chaos magic via the Darkhold.
Okay, so that old friend presumably is Nick Fury.
Yes.
Judging by things that are upcoming. And
we know he's in outer space. That would make sense.
Hanging out with Skrulls, yeah. This all makes sense. Hey, we get like a bunch of Darkhold stuff. The Darkhold's cool. Man, I like the Darkhold as a fan of Cthulhu shit.
Very good.
I hope that doesn't go anywhere unfortunate for any of the characters involved. There's a line in here which is "Boys handle the military." When she turns to the kids, like, "Kids, handle the army men, please. Mummy's gonna.
Right.
I'll be back." Like, that is
That's a
not.
good line.
It's bad parenting.
It's very funny.
We get classic creepy girl Wanda too when she like shunts Agatha back into the Salem flashback.
Mhm.
She does her creepy walk behind and in the
Yeah.
air whispering. That was
Yeah.
nice to see. It's been a while.
Yeah, I like,
And what a costume.
the costume's good.
Costume's
I
great.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about how the show exists as a whole. It's like I had fun, and Wanda's been, she was a bad guy for a little bit, and then she became an Avenger, and so she's been a good guy for a while, and it's like the show starts, and you think of her as a good guy still,
Mhm.
and then gradually over the course of the show, you realize that, I mean, she isn't aware of it at first, so it's
She
hard to
is.
hate her for it, really.
Look,
Um,
there are points where characters, get taken out of the illusion and start, being like, "Hey, shit's fucked in there. We're having her nightmares when we sleep."
yeah,
Stuff like that, where it's like, "Oh, this is real bad." But
yeah,
clearly she doesn't understand how bad it is on everyone. She
right,
probably just thinks that everyone's having as good a time as she is on the
yeah,
outside at least.
yeah,
Um she's by like incredibly problematic.
mhm,
Um Calling her a good guy at any point in this is a stretch because she
yes,
has done a horrible, horrible thing. Not
yeah,
intentionally,
yeah.
but she did keep it going once she found out what she had done.
That's the thing. That's the thing that ticks it over from like you feeling sorry for her to being like, I
Well,
can't
there
really
is a
feel
point
sorry
there where you're
for
just
you
like,
now.
at a certain point, it's gone on too far and too long, and how do you even come back from this? The
Yeah,
ball's already rolling. The
yeah,
momentum's there. Do we just ride this out, or what do I do? What like because it's so accidental on her part, it
mhm,
seems almost as if like if I bring this all down, what stays and what goes?
yeah,
Like obviously not all the sitcom trappings will be here. Do I still have my family? Do I still have Vision? I don't know what the
right,
fuck that is.
mhm.
Vision asks at the very end and she has an answer for him, but up until that point, I don't think she knows.
No, I
So
mean,
I think it's perfectly reasonable to look at Wanda here as a tragic character.
mhm,
Um, you know, she's done something horrible
yeah.
inadvertently. You can still like her.
Yeah, I mean, you can like villains. Villains
Yeah.
can be very likable. So
I would
it,
still like not even necessarily call her a villain here. She's just a tragic
she is.
character.
Of course, she's been through a ton of shit, and like
Yeah.
this all happened because of her sort of
The last
um
straw.
yeah, like she's given up, and I don't know, she's let her powers loose, and she's caused this thing to happen.
Mhm.
Um, so yes, of course I feel bad for her, but it's also like at some point she does figure out that she's in charge of everything, and she still keeps it going. And I
Mhm.
understand, I get it that she wants to keep her family that she's created out of nothing,
Yeah.
but it's
I think
like
it's also that she doesn't know how bad it is for everyone else because the only people who
exactly,
know that are Vision, really,
yeah,
and the people who are
yeah,
living it.
hmm um, and it is good that like it is pretty much as soon as she finds out that like everyone's having her nightmares,
She's
and
like, "Okay, no, I'll shut it down. it's fine."
the worst part for me, because as a human father, to hear that she's just keeping kids locked in their rooms, and the parents can't see them,
They're
and
like begging
like
for screen time.
yeah, it's like that's so bad.
It's very grim.
So
But yeah, like it begs the question: is she doing that intentionally? Is that a knowing thing that she does, or
right,
is just all part of the auto magic?
right.
just the chaos energy that she controls as Scarlet Witch.
Mhm.
Which, yeah, she doesn't know about
Right.
until this point.
Yeah.
It's much easier to point at someone like Agatha or Hayward as the obvious villains, or at least the
Right.
antagonists of this,
Yeah.
where Agatha is someone who just wants all of that power for herself and is willing to keep that little corner of the world fucked once
Right.
she has it. Or
Yeah.
she says she is, but she also says that she can't change it after the fact, so who knows.
Mhm.
Um, and then Hayward, who I don't know if I don't think the synopsis accurately painted it like this, but he implicates Wanda as having stolen Vision's body.
Yeah.
And then it turns out that no, actually, she didn't. He's had it
No.
the whole time. He's been working on it against Vision's own will.
Mhm.
And they're working on him, trying to rebuild him, turning him into a weapon again.
Right.
And like, that's genuinely fucking heinous. Like, if you
Mhm.
believe that if you believe that Vision is a person with rights,
Right.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And he does
Um.
that knowingly.
Yes. I'm not going to tell you that Hayward's a great guy.
Yeah, no, Wanda does some awful, awful nightmare shit, but she does it accidentally.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, hard to call her a hero at this point.
She's definitely not a hero. And also, I just like the fact that she's just let go. Like they're just like she's like, well, I fucked up. I did a bad thing here, and well, peace
Yeah,
out.
and
See you later.
everyone just kind of gives her a mad side eye as she walks back into town. She doesn't speak to any of them, but she does speak to
No.
Monica.
Yeah. And
It's like,
Monica's like, see you
you're a named
later.
character. Come here.
Ciao. Have fun out there.
Come here, fellow superhero. We need to have words, and then I'm off.
Mm. But also, like, what are they gonna do? Stop her? No.
I guess, like, oh, man, they look real fucking like butthurt about it, and rightfully so. I'm sure it's been hell,
No.
but like, at least bring it up. Just like, hey, fuck off, get out of town. What are you doing? Out of here.
Yeah.
Leave your car. Just fly away.
And then we have
she
that.
does.
She leaves, and we get the scene with Monica and the Skrull lady.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's going to go to space, and then we get the end of it, where she's reading the Darkhold, doing all sorts of crazy shit, and she can hear her kids.
As I have in my notes, Wanda gets some R&R, and in brackets, it's reading and ruin.
Yeah, for sure.
There are many things that come of this post-credit scene that people will bitch about endlessly.
Yes.
And we'll get to the majority of them later when
We
it
will.
becomes more relevant. But I just need to say this ahead of time.
Yes.
If you have a character who is in a bad place and grieving and still recovering from incredibly traumatic experiences, maybe don't give them an incredibly powerful evil book or any evil MacGuffin that has a will of its own, because things will not end well, and people claiming character assassination are wrong and bad.
I agree with you 100%.
Yes. Like, it has to happen eventually. We're like, what, 30 episodes in?
Like, I don't understand the people who are like, I've said it. She's not like a great person in this show. Like, it's fun to watch her, and
she fucks up mucho grande.
Yes, and then she gets like a dark book, and she now wants her kids back. So of course she's gonna do some fucked up shit at some point.
To think that anyone would watch anything in the future where Wanda Maximoff does some dirt and thinks, well, this is out of character. Are you fucking stupid?
Exactly.
Anyway,
and now
that's what that was.
That's what that was. Overall, what are your feelings on WandaVision?
I remember at the time being fucking over the moon with that. I really,
Mhm.
really enjoyed it when it came out. Watching it week to week, the intrigue and the mystery was really good. The pacing felt really nice. Probably could have left it one more episode to do the big reveal about
Yep.
halfway through, and then the rest of it would have followed. But
Mhm.
I really liked it at launch. On rewatch, I still really enjoy it. A lot
Yeah.
of the sitcom stuff still really works for me, even though like I don't personally have a connection to it. Um, it's just good entertainment for a lot of it. And then there's some like really heartfelt bits which are nice, and then get to end with a big MCU punch up, which I'm always down for one of those,
Mhm.
even at their
Yeah.
worst. I'm looking at you, Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I really like the show. It's a fun time, and watching it now, all in a condensed amount of time. I didn't watch it all, in one day, but over the course of like 3 days, it's a good time. It's a fun show, and I don't love the last episode, but there's 8 other episodes that are really good, so I
They
can't
really
complain.
did just have to wrap it up.
They really did just we got to get this done because she's got some other shit to do after this.
Mhm.
So there you
Can't keep paying
go.
these people. We're in the middle of a pandemic.
Exactly. So now we come to the show, the namesake of the show,
Right side.
the Starks and the Stanks. I've done this long
It's
enough that
like
I.
up there-ish.
There you go. I'll
Rights
go
and
first.
lefts,
I don't
whatever.
remember who did the last two
It's
started, so
been
I'll just go.
85 years.
At least it's been a while since we did one of these. My first Stark, a fun premise that shows how different a show set in the MCU could be, while still tying into the overall MCU. So yeah, I like that they fucking went for it. They did something completely different that hadn't been seen in the MCU. It's not a straight up superhero thing for most of it, and they have fun. And they're like, we can do like something different. You don't have to. It doesn't just have to be a straight up superhero thing. It's
Yeah,
fun.
we don't necessarily have to do an action thing all the time or like some spin-off of an action thing, an action comedy thing. We can just do just weird fucking genre things,
Yeah,
and it's nice. I agree.
exactly.
It's not one of my stocks, but I do agree with that.
Good stuff. What's your first stock?
My first stock is that I love all the meta narrative stuff, the fourth wall breaking,
Hmm.
the techniques used and then switched out for modern techniques to establish and then shake up tone. Um, a lot of the stuff between episodes 1 and 4,
Hmm.
before the reveal, love all that stuff, and then they jump back into a little more sparingly after that point. But
Yeah.
it's such a strong start, committing to those techniques, your practical effects, your grayscale, your sets with live studio audiences. Like it all really adds to that so well. And then when they snatch it away and pull the rug out from under you, it really does create a sense of discomfort, which is
Yes.
perfect for this.
Hmm.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Good shit. I agree as well. My second stock is just Paul Bettany. Yeah, he's so good as Vision, and I really wish we had more of him like this. Just he's
Casual.
he's been around for a while now. He can be just like kind of a regular dude who looks like Vision, and he's just so fun. He's great, so good in this show.
Yeah, Bettany is very good. My second stock is that the chemistry between a lot of the characters, specifically Olsen and Bettany, but
Yeah,
so many of
yeah,
the cast play well off each other.
hmm,
It's great just spending time with these characters because you don't get a lot of it
yeah,
in the greater MCU, and there's just really everyone feels like they're having such a fun time. And if my hope for this show is anything, you can feel when people are having fun making a thing, and that makes you also
hmm,
have fun.
yeah, for sure.
I hope no one notices how much I fucking hate it here. Anyway, yeah, no,
uh,
good chemistry between characters and actors, and just
yeah.
it's good stuff. Very enjoyable watching.
Mm. I agree.
And,
Everyone's really good in this show. Yeah,
yeah,
like
like
everyone.
the characters that you don't like Haywood, that
Mhm.
guy's a real dick,
Yeah,
but everyone around him knows it, and it's
right.
solid.
My first stank is that it's just tonally kind of all over the place. The first 3 episodes are straight up sitcoms with weird little creepy things that happen, and then it gradually turns into a different thing until the last 2 episodes, which are completely different. If you showed somebody the first episode and the last episode, they would think they're from 2 different shows.
Yeah, I think because it happens over such a long time, because that's what 9 episodes, each running between 30 to 40, 50 minutes.
The last one's about 50, yeah.
Yeah, like it happens gradually enough that if you're watching 1 to 9,
Mm.
like you notice it. It's hard not to notice it because they are literally like switching genres at some points.
Yeah.
And to differentiate between the in hex and out hex stuff, you know, it's got to feel different. If it didn't feel different, that'd be fucking weird. But yeah, no, it's definitely got. I wouldn't say a tone issue, but tone is all over the place.
Yeah.
If I were to say anything regarding the tone as a stank, I kind of wished the creepy, subtle undertones were subtle and undertones for longer.
Yes.
If we just maybe like hold off on pulling the trigger on that for a bit, that'd be great.
Mhm.
But they didn't, and I think it still works. But
It works fine, and overall I do like the show. But
there is.
also, I
the-
wonder
the-
if someone was to watch this without watching any other MCU stuff, if they were just to start watching the first episode, would they keep enjoying it as it went on?
Yeah, I think a lot of the enjoyment of this really does come from like knowing these characters not well because they don't get that much screen time, but like you know who these characters are, and seeing them in these situations is kind of weird and wacky, and it starts being creepy, and then that's kind of what hooks you. I don't
Right.
think someone watching this with no knowledge of like Wanda or Vision beforehand are going to be like, "This seems good. I'm going to watch this."
Right. Yeah. Anyway, what's your first stank?
My first stank is that maybe it kind of tries to be a bit smart with subverting audience expectations in some parts.
Hmm.
This is specifically with regards to the Pietro thing, where
Yes.
it is clever.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, you can stop patting yourself on the back for it now. I feel like you're really, really into it, show, but cut it out. It's fine. It was good.
As someone who, as we all know, I hate fan service.
Uh-huh.
And I love it when things piss fans off. So I love the Pietro stuff.
Uh-huh.
Big fan. Well done.
Yeah.
Congratulations to everyone involved.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's just definitely feel like they think it's smarter than it is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which it is smart. Like if you were trying to swerve fans, this was the way to do it. You did it. Good job.
Good job, everyone. My second stank is that the lowered budget definitely showed in that last episode. Like they ran out of money, but still had a bunch of effects to do. This is very much a TV show, and it very much looks like a TV show from beginning to end. It's just at the end, it looks like
to be a bit more ambitious.
A modern TV show with not great special effects.
They're not terrible though.
They're like Flash level.
Yeah. They're fine.
They're fine, but they're not MCU.
No, you're right. I don't know. Maybe I've like already subconsciously adjusted my expectations on that. I'm like, yeah, this seems about right. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure, yeah. Sure.
But like, yeah, I get what you mean. Definitely.
Your second stank.
You really could have held off on that real world exposition episode by like one episode.
I'm glad you had that. Yeah. 100% agree.
It's not a big thing. I think the pacing of the show works really well without it. Like 3 episodes in Fantasyland, 1 to show you what the real deal is.
Yeah.
A couple interspersed to give you like fantasy, reality, and how these two are intertwined, and then the big payoff, or not the big payoff, the exposition episode, and then the payoff at the very end. I think it works. I
Yep.
really would have liked the illusion to be maintained just for a little bit longer. That would have been nice.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Now we come to the episode. We come to the part of the episode
Finally, the episode.
where
It's been 85 years.
We've been doing the non-episode for the last hour and 39 minutes, but now it's time for the episode to begin. This is where we rank this show among all of the other MCU things. And I'm going to do this magical thing.
Well, oh, thank God, I remembered my password for Letterboxd.
Here we are.
Somehow got logged out.
This one. We'll do this. So we're bigger. And there we go.
Bigger
all right.
and better.
Here we are. Here is the Stark or Stank rankings.
It's there.
Would you like
on
me to
screen.
read them? Would you like
Yeah,
me to
if
read
you'd
them?
like.
Starting at number 1. I hope this list is up to date.
Is this how mothers feel on Mother's Day when they get like breakfast in bed? It's like, yeah, go for it.
What was the last one? Far From Home. Yeah, it's there. All right. Number 1, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where it belongs. Am I right?
Oh yeah.
Number 2,
You've
Thor
never been more
Ragnarok.
right.
No. Avengers Endgame number 3, Iron Man 3 number 4, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Infinity War, Captain America Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers, Black Panther.
Is this why I read it?
Captain America First Avenger, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man Homecoming, Iron Man, Spider-Man Far From Home, Thor, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, Avengers Age of Ultron, Incredible Hulk, Thor the Dark World, Iron Man 2.
Yes, that is correct. Iron Man 2 at number 23?
Where it belongs.
Honestly, I'd put it lower if I could, and that's what we'll do today.
Yeah! All right.
Just gonna stick the boot in.
Yep. I don't know who went. You go first this time. I went first with Starks and Stank.
So obviously, WandaVision has to be at least 23 because fuck Iron Man 2.
At least 23.
Look, it's got some stuff going for it. It's a very unique premise done in a very fun and interesting way.
Yep.
Doesn't quite hold up all the way to the end.
Nope.
But you know, there's good performances in there. There's really fun techniques. People are having fun, so it feels fun to watch. Part of me wants to put it above the first Avengers.
Above the first Avengers, right here. At
number
8, 9. Above the first Avengers.
Remember when we watched the first Avengers and you were like, that has no style to it?
Yeah.
This has many styles.
But is it better than Black Panther? Is it better than First Avenger?
No. See, yeah, look. I lowballed it with 23 and maybe highballed it with 9. What do we think about... Okay, the important question, the benchmark. Is it better than Iron Man?
Definitely better than Iron Man. 100% agree with that.
So, as a placeholder, we can put WandaVision at number 15. Now, Spider-Man Homecoming's got some stuff working for it.
Yeah.
It's not the best Spider-Man movie by any means.
No.
There are at least 2 that I can think of in this current moment where I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse, where there are at least 2 films better than it.
Yes. Agreed.
It does have a very good villain. I'm not sure that's enough to make me want to put it above WandaVision. WandaVision is just so weird and interesting.
Look, I would put it above Ant-Man after First Avenger.
That's surprising.
just because it's like I said, like having it be a series lets them do something new and interesting. They're doing something different, even though it doesn't stick the landing right there at the end. The 8 episodes before that are pretty good,
Yeah.
and it's fun. It's a fun show with good characters, and like the 2 episodes that I really really like. I would say
Episodes 2 and 6?
the Halloween episode and the the
Yeah,
magic
2 and
show
6.
one. Yeah, yeah. Um, I would say I like those more than like if I was to choose between watching Ant-Man or those 2 episodes, I'd probably want to watch those 2 episodes.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. I think I agree. I think Captain America as a whole maybe holds up better
Mhm.
as a singular package than the
Yes,
entirety of WandaVision, but the highs in WandaVision are higher than the highs in Ant-Man. The lows aren't as low. Ant-Man doesn't have a lot of lows, but it's got a lot of mid points, I think. A
it
lot, a
does.
lot of
Yeah,
ebbs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not a
Yeah,
great
I think
villain.
yeah, not yet. He'll have his day. Um
Yeah, he will become a great villain one day.
what yeah, he's just gonna be less of a dick. WandaVision number 12 feels right. Like
All right.
it's a good showing for their first foray into like the streaming service
Yes,
area.
I agree. WandaVision.
It gives us a lot of room to
No,
work around too
I don't
because
need this Barbie ad.
I have vague recollections of where I put the series in my original ranking, and I feel like, not to give anything too big away, I feel like WandaVision sits in the upper middle area,
Mhm.
but that could change with a rewatch. I think WandaVision and Hawkeye are the only 2 series that I've rewatched.
Yeah, I actually watched Hawkeye again like a month ago.
I did it for Christmas.
Oh, there you go. My grandfather came to visit, and I was like, "Have you seen Hawkeye?" And he's like, "No." And we watched it. That's a
Yeah,
great show.
fantastic.
I don't need these ads. Oh, these are my Scream rankings, by the way.
Oh man, I can't wait to do that podcast.
Oh yeah, we should do that.
Okay, we gotta sort out our spin-off. We gotta sort out this one first, and then we'll work on.
Those 3 spin-offs that we've talked about.
Oh god, what is it? Fast and Furious, Disney, and now Scream.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get tonal whiplash.
get get through these other 100 Marvel things by the time we'll never get there because we
No,
keep taking weeks
no,
off.
we'll die
And
before the MCU does.
yeah, exactly. Okay, the new rankings: Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Thor: Ragnarok, Avengers: Endgame, Iron Man 3, Galaxy.
Aaron, do I need to call an ambulance?
Galaxy. Avengers: War.
Oh my god, this is just what he's doing now.
Avengers: War. Gotta Vol 2.
I got
Avengers.
2 out of that.
Black Panther.
Avengers
Captain America: The First Avenger. WandaVision. The
at
rest.
number.
12.
Yes, very good.
And there we go.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, I feel good about it at number 12. And there we go. We've ranked it. We've done
Yeah.
WandaVision. WandaVision is over.
We bit the bullet. The series have begun.
The series have begun, and now we have to do the other ones.
Yeah. No, we've really committed.
So
Shit.
next week,
Uh, what is
we're
that?
going to do. That's me going. Will it be next week?
Oh, I understand. I thought you were trying to like hint at what we're watching. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
No, next week.
Is it Dignity?
Huh? What do you think?
Right Hook
What is
Man.
it? Hmm?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Is he in the MCU?
Probably, I don't know. Is it Demolition Man? You strike me as a Demolition Man kind of guy.
Never seen it.
No? No. Wait, what?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah! I recall this one fondly.
Yes, I remember liking it a lot. And I'm also pretty sure it's only 6 episodes, but I said that about WandaVision.
Yeah, but I also feel like those episodes are longer.
Turned out to be 9. Yeah, they're like more closer to an hour, I believe.
Yeah, so I think runtime overall, probably the same.
Probably.
Hope you like Winter Soldier-esque vibes.
I do.
I do too, it's fucking cool.
You mean the movie that's our number 1 currently?
Yeah!
Yes, I very much
Oh,
like
do I want
Winter
more
Soldier.
of that?
Do I? Yeah, exactly. And it's God, Secret Invasion looks up that alley too.
Oh, it really does. Oh, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we won't get to that for another couple of years at least.
See you in 5 years, folks, for Secret Invasion.
Thank you so much for watching and listening, everyone. We will see you
Next
time. At some point in time, we will see you for us talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier and also Starks and Stanks and also ranking them.
Not in that order.
Goodbye.